He's worse than me.
To do what he was doing to me.
No, you can't take on me. Let me tell you, when I listen to people like Andrew Mwenda, one of my biggest fears on shows like this is we come and sit here and talk ourselves into irrelevance. It doesn't make sense. We have to speak to the people who are our audience, who are listening to us, not to say what they want to hear, what they should be hearing. So if you sit here and go on about figures and figures, everybody, no one is that ignorant. We live in the era where technology and knowledge is at your fingertips. And the reason why I kept asking him, what's your point? Because I felt that he was making a point that, oh, we are doing so well, where we are doing badly, it should be expected, and Psalm 7 should rule another 60 years because we are doing so well. You give an example of America and South Korea. How many times have those people changed their rulers? Okay? Are you saying that because you've built roads and people are better and we export more coffee and we expect... And I love discussions where we talk about the numbers of our growth and how we can do better. And I wish we didn't have to discuss who has knocked who with the border and which one who has been stopped from roads going here and there. I wish we could sit and discuss figures on how to develop this country. Unfortunately, we are in an election period and this is where we are. And when you start speaking about development of someone who has done so badly that some of the scorecards give him third poorest country in the world after 34 years, and then you want the people who he's ruling to think that we couldn't do better than that. When I do not care. At some point,
where did you get that number? Where did you get that number?
I will send it to you.
No, where did you get that number? You can just go in the IMF economic link.
I keep sending it. Send it to him. Moses, send it to him.
Listen, out of 180.
Okay, whatever we are. Whatever we are.
Say Uganda is the third poorest country.
Okay, one day, I was paying school fees for my brother, and he was the 78th out of 82. And I told him, I struggle so hard to pay school fees for you. And he said, no, I wasn't 78th, I was 76th. And I told him, you can't even see that 78 and 76 is the same. So whichever number we are, even if you're not third, and we are third, even if you're not third, we are doing badly as a country. When you say list of poorest countries, is Uganda a poor country? Everyone will tell you we are a poor country. So if you run a country, and let me tell you, sometimes when I see people like Andrew Mwenda and Moses here waxing lyrical about figures, and then exports did this and exports did that, and this and this and this, and whoever can't say this is ignorant, it reminds me of that story in primary school in English literature about the king who said, anyone who can't see my clothes is a sinner. And then he walked around nude, and everybody was laughing at him, but he didn't realize that everybody was laughing at him. You cannot force people to see and feel what they are not feeling. You cannot force people in Chichosa, or down in Kalere, or down in Owino, and you force them. If they are telling you we want to change leadership, you give an example. Or you're saying, okay, this person is leading us somewhere and we should continue following them and it should improve here and become more user-friendly. We don't care. If we ask you to make changes and then you say, people have told you they are doing badly. You don't listen to TV. I will send you all the pictures I send Moses every day. What I'm saying
is still a referendum.
I don't care if it's a referendum. I'm here. I am a person. I'm in Uganda. And
you are speaking English just smartly and doing badly.
Don't respond to Mwenda.
If you are doing badly,
don't I have one?
I was complaining about being a
every day. Andrew, every day. I have a farm.
If you are a person who is doing badly,
and that farm has employees, I know their families. I interact with them. I live with
and
them.
You are doing
and
badly.
I know what they are going through. And they are doing
yes,
badly.
I am very happy that I live in a country where a person who is doing badly dresses like you, drives a nice car like you, lives in a nice neighborhood like you, in a nice apartment like you. I'm very proud to live in a country of poor people like you.
Mwenda,
I'm
if
very
I tell
proud.
you they killed 60 people, I should be a dead body before I can say that?
It depends upon in what circumstances they died.
Okay. Quiet and listen to me for
yes,
once.
because if you unleash riots and chaos,
I'm telling you, Andrew,
and those
chaos
cause instability that lead
let me give you an
people to die,
example. If a person has been a bad parent for 10 years, beaten up their children, run their life badly, this child will still be taller. I'm telling you. If I'm telling you,
parent judged by who?
We cannot live here by. That is your opinion. So if you have a child who is 5 years old and you raise them badly, they will still be fatter and bigger and taller than when they are 3 months. So at the end of the day, you can come and shout and shout and shout down and shout everyone, but everybody will just switch off and say, my reality is different. My reality, and if you're leading me and you're telling me I'm going to Hulu, and I tell you, where I am right now, I'm in Masaka and Kochi, and Gulu is not in this direction, and I want to change direction. If you give me an example, they would like us to believe that Uganda couldn't have done better. There are countries like Singapore, like Malaysia, like Botswana, Ghana, even Kenya here is doing better. All we ask is, can we do better? And if we are doing so well, then put in place a proper democratic
in terms of what? What
are
your indicators of doing better?
Process. If a person, if you say, oh, Museveni is just, you know, shooting himself in the foot, there is a reason why he's angrily reacting to this. Because at the end of the day, Museveni wouldn't be panicking if he knew he did a good job. He's had 34 years to do a good job. He has done a shoddy job, and he knows this. And that is why, you know why democracy is. You give an example of America, and you say there are people lining up in America to buy food, for food, and they're hungry. Do you know what they just did last month? They changed their president so that they can do better. So if you're giving me examples of all these developments, which one, then let us put in place a proper democratic process where you're not beating up your opposition, where you're giving them a chance to elect their leaders. And if you did so well and so well, throw them those numbers, and they'll make their better choice.
But this is you are making on what basis?
Do not kill them to choose you.
No, don't
do not kill them to choose you.
So you are suggesting that
and let me tell you,
about change of leaders?
If imports were doing so well and exports were doing so well and your numbers were working, you wouldn't be shooting people in the streets to force them to elect you. You wouldn't be putting processes in place to try and inflict all the pain on Ugandans to stay in power. You wouldn't cling on to power with your nails in the door.
If you really cared about Ugandans, you would not be holding rallies and congesting people in one places and infecting them with COVID in order for them to die.
Make the platform equal.
If you care about Ugandans, you would not address rallies in the large crowds where people would get infected with COVID and die.
And in a winner, and there are crowds,
please, I want
and people getting COVID there.
Yes.
Don't pretend that you care about
Thank you,
COVID.
Nancy.
You care about
You've made the
The
point.
whole COVID thing is part of your conduct.
So, Joe,
You are all gunmen, and let me tell you, Andrew Mwenda, you've been part of the looting hegemony in this country, and for that reason you're here on air to come and loot some more because you get money from government to try and make you speak that way and try and make it. We are not.
All right, so 2 things.